again for us all here today. So, hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Samin, and I am the host of the Sam Myers Show. When I say my name, I am Samin. All the 12-step programs are like, and I am a blah, 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 blah. And I am a, hi, my name is Samin, and I'm a, you fill in the blank. I am an alcoholic. I am a drug, all the things. And hi, Samin. So I always have to fight that. That's why I pause a little bit after I say that most of the times. So happy to be here. It's happy Friday. I just got notification that my daughter's getting out early. So yay. Yay for that. That's what's happening and that's something I'm be dealing with in a few minutes. I was just speaking about my lack of etiquette with this microphone. I constantly bump into it. So I'm thinking somewhere down the line, I need something to come down so I can have all of this space. Before it was an issue with the microphone being on the table, but it was like this tall, and I had to convert and twist my body in certain ways so that I could use the mic. And now this is here, but I keep banging into it. So I'm working on that. So I want to talk about feelings today, and really in the world of my parenting. And I have one child, so it's in the world of me parenting my daughter. And it's a beautiful because right now she's in the fifth grade, and the fifth grade is starting. They have started since September talking about the space of feelings, continuing the conversation that started early on. That school goes from JK to 12, but they start the idea of feelings, meditation, all of that stuff, like inward body breathing exercises. Very young, first grade for sure. I remember. Well, we started in kindergarten, so they would do these exercises with them. So she's familiar with them. So right now they're doing meditation for 1 minute. They're introducing it to the kids, and they're doing gratitude, right? And also speaking about their feelings. So with meditation, 1 minute meditation, it's a nice introduction to meditation. My daughter, she does 20 minutes a day, 10 in the morning, 10 in the night. Definitely 10 in the night. The 10 in the morning doesn't, it happens if we're moving at a nice pace, which we normally aren't. But other than that, she'll do it after school. So she gets her 10 minutes twice a day, and I do 20 minutes twice a day because it's important for just for me to do my meditation to slow it down and just give the brain a rest because my brain is it's not like it's fast and I'm a fast thinker. It's just like it's always going. I could be sitting here with you right now talking about what we're talking about, and I'll say one word that'll take me back to being 7 years old on 141st and Broadway. You know what I mean? And that happens a lot. So the mind is jumping. It's always exercising and flexing and listening and dissecting and figuring out. So to meditate is good. So they started to talk about feelings again. And to me, feelings are one of the most important. Respect for feelings are extremely important. And I'll speak about that as a man, who's a boy, who's now a man. The importance of not only knowing what my feelings are, but also having the space to articulate what I'm feeling, and also the world of understanding what a feeling is. So I really love that they're reinforcing some of this stuff that we work on at home. So she was talking to me. They said, well, it's okay to feel angry and it's okay to feel sad. And I'm like, well, it is, which is beautiful because I didn't know that at 10. I didn't know that it was okay. Now, I'm not saying I didn't feel any of those things because I clearly did, but I didn't understand that it was okay and that's is normal to go through these things. Like my daughter is, she's all every bit my kid, and I work with her around feelings. Like that whole thing with feelings, thoughts, and behaviors is very important to me. And I've been called a good parent. I mean, you're such a great parent. And I'm working, right? I'm working at it. I don't stop. I never stop and like, yay. I mean, I'm always wanting to be a healthy parent that is a conduit to a child turning to an adult who has a healthy way of looking at life. I don't take on good and bad or right or wrong. It's more of a, is this healthy or is this not healthy? Is this healthy, what I'm telling you, or is it not healthy? And that's how I parent as well. So I have it that she needs to know and understand feelings, thoughts, and behaviors. School's not teaching that. It's not their job. It's not their responsibility. But they are teaching feelings in that you can feel stuff and and it's okay for you to feel different things. They also, before school started, the advisor let me know by questioning me, does she have friends? And I was like, yeah, she has friends. She has a few friends that she rocks with. She was like, oh, okay, well, this is before school even started. She was like, well, friendships dissolve in fifth grade. I was like, what? What is it? She's like, it's something about, it just happens. And make sure that she knows that this is going to happen. And I'm thinking like, nah, that's not going to happen. These are her peoples. The moment you say that, right? The moment you say traffic is going good, it ends up not going as well as thought. So here's my situation right now, and which is so perfect because this is everything that we work on, right? We work on gratitude. Like gratitude is so important to me. Like I play this game and I've shared it. We play gratitude tennis, right? We play this game. When I get in the car, to the moment I drop her off at school, maybe a couple of minutes we stop before that. We go back and forth. It's nothing different than just a person with a gratitude list, but it's not like 10 things. It's ongoing gratitude until we get to school. And sometimes we outdo each other. Sometimes it's a competition. Sometimes we rap battle back and forth with gratitude, which is really good. The other day I had some beats from my boy and I started playing and I went in on this whole gratitude rhyme to let her know I still got it a little bit, and she wasn't ready for that. She actually was like, dude, where'd you get the music from? She was like, wait, that's not fair. Where'd you get music from? It's like you set me up. You had a whole setup. But the gratitude is real. And we will go, it could be as plain as I have gratitude for my dog. That's her. Or I have gratitude that there's a vet for my dog to take care of my dog. Or I have gratitude that there's a scientist who invented like this vaccine for a shot that the dog needed because he had something going on with his blood. It could be like that, or it could be like I have gratitude for trips and travel. I have gratitude for the Eiffel Tower. And it could go like I have gratitude for the Wright brothers who were part of the conversation that was in the space of creating flight, or Carl Benz who was the person who got the first patent for the automobile, right? With the internal combustion, that type of stuff. When we'll laugh about it, and that is Mercedes Benz. His daughter's name was Mercedes. So we will go the complete gambit of gratitude, from bees to pollinate stuff, or never mosquitoes. Mosquitoes have yet to find a reason to have gratitude for them. I have yet to find a reason, but we go at it with that. Again, the etiquette. So we have the gratitude and feelings, right? So feelings, thoughts, and gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most important things, and I'm so happy that the school is working on it. And she was telling me that most kids came up with 2 or 3, and it was all like, I have gratitude for my mom, my dad, my house. And then Cyan, of course, was doing, I have gratitude with this. And her muscle around gratitude is real. And I push it because you can have everything. And if you don't have gratitude for it, I have it. That if you don't have gratitude for things in life, then you can have money, and if you're ungrateful, what does it look like? Or you can have nothing and have gratitude around it. So gratitude is powerful. Back to feelings, right? So feelings, thoughts, and behaviors. The other day, she's talking to me and she tells me that she's having a little issue with her friend. So, so it's a female friend, it's female. So it's two things in life that I never want anything to do with. Two things pertaining to the opposite sex, right? One, slow down. Female friendships. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with it. I think it's fickle. I think it's fickle. I think it's frenemy. All that stuff is, those words are created around women. To me. Now that's just my experience and my path, my little tiny puzzle piece in the world of a puzzle piece. My little puzzle piece of the world had that I don't want to be involved with anything like that. I don't want to be involved with, if it's a girlfriend of mine and she's talking about this female friend who did this thing at work. I don't want to. That doesn't mean I don't listen. That doesn't mean I don't validate it. I just don't want to. I don't want to. I will never come to the table with my boy issue. I handle it. It's not the same. I never want anything to do with the friendships. I don't. That's one. And I'll come back to this. And digging in a woman's purse. I don't. Go, could you get my keys in my purse? I would rather go to the hardware store and make you a copy of my key before I stick my hand in that bag, which has never failed to have something sharp go underneath my nail, puncture my cuticle. It's just never a good look. Those are two things: female friendships and digging in the bag. So she's having an issue with a friend. I stay out of it. It's fifth grade, 5, 6. She's been in school since she was 2.5. She's 10 now. Lots of friendships with females, only almost exclusively. Never in it. I guess third grade started the phoniness started to rear its head. Now she's raised by me, and I'm involved. I'm not. So let me say, I'm not the normal dad who, if you have a normal mom's works, dad works, dad and mom come home, the babysitter and all that, and he comes home tired. I can't. I'm not tired. I have to listen. I drop off. I pick up because I want to. Right. I have the option to have someone else do it. Tasha can do it, but I don't because I like to drop her off. I like to do gratitude tennis in the car. I like to complain about always having to do it. And also not hand over the steering wheel. You know, but I like the whole. I like to take to hip hop and ballet and field hockey. I like to do that. I get something from it. It's more about me. Maybe I have an issue. Maybe that's like, dude, release the hounds. But so dealing with her with this friend, right? So she has this friend. She has this issue with the friend. And I'm like, so what is it? She's like, well, she's not speaking to me. Now, Cyan had a concussion, right? And it kind of like put her, she couldn't be on the phone. She couldn't have the electronics. She goes back to school after she's signed, and the friend asks her, how are you doing? How's your concussion? Cyan says, I don't want to talk about that. Okay, right? Day 2, how's your concussion? I don't want to talk about it. So now I don't know any of this, but she comes back to tells me the person is not speaking to her, and I'm like, what's that about? And I'm coming up with whatever makes sense to me. I'm like, well, you haven't talked to her in a while. You know, we were doing certain things, and now it's not the same. I did what I never do. What I never do. I reached out to the mom. I've never reached out to a mom. It's not what I do. I really don't care. I let them figure it out. Figure it out. Figure it out. Nope. I go in. Hey, I don't know if you noticed, but you know, Cyan, something going on that I don't really understand. I don't know about fully, but something's happening. And if we could avoid this from turning to something else, because it can happen very quickly. It could go from like this little, bump to being like a tumor, right? So I call and she says, I'm so glad you called me. This is what's been going on. See right there. This is what's been going on. So you know about this and you didn't reach out to me. I have thoughts about that. And I have feelings about that as well. And none of that's important. But it was like, what, for real? Okay, so here I come, getting involved in something that I should have just let go. And I'm hearing, oh, this is when I heard, well, Cyan said this to her. Cyan said that. And I'm like, oh, that's not great. It's real, but it's. And so I asked Cyan about it. And she's like, oh, yeah, I said that. I knew. She asked me in front of all these people, and I didn't want them in my business. Sound like healthy. That's healthy to me. I'm like, what? What do you mean? She was like, well, it was her, it was this one. And I already told this one I didn't want to talk about it. And then she's asking in front of all these people, and I don't want them in my business. Nobody called me. Did anybody contact you, Dad? No. Did they? No. So I don't want them in my business now. If they want to talk to me privately, maybe. I can't be mad at that. I cannot be mad at that. And I'm talking to her in the world of feelings. I'm so how do you feel about this? She's like, I'm sad that she's not speaking to me. Okay. So what are your thoughts about that? She was like, well, my thoughts are that I can't really imagine me saying that I didn't want to talk to her about this in front of those people would really end our friendship. So my thinking is, how much of a friendship did we have? And she's 10. So I got, okay, babe, so do you see that what you said could have potentially been hurtful? She's like, I didn't really see it as hurtful, but I hear, when she's talking, she's like, I hear that you're saying it and I can see how it could be hurtful, but that wasn't my intention. My intention was not to talk about it. And I thought we were better friends than that for that to end our friendship. It's just not okay. And I'm sad that I'm not able to contact and connect with my friend. So I'm like, okay. And I'm like, so what do you want to do about that? She's like, I'll try to reach out again, but I'm not, she didn't say and. She's like, but I'm not going to keep doing it and being like rejected, because apparently she had reached out and it's going into girl world. It's going into girl world, which is, I say girl world, and I don't want, and that's not an insult or anything like that, but boys don't do that. Like, we get into trouble, even as a boy, you fight somebody. Boys are the only ones who can have a physical fight, and be friends later in the day. Like, I've fought people, dudes, and ate at their homes later. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's real, and that's just such a nothing thing for a male. So, but just in that space of looking at like what that actually was for her, and being proud of her being able to say her feelings and get the outcome. Like, yeah, I didn't see that I hurt this person's feeling, but now I see it. And it's not that I don't want to clean it up, but I don't know how to. And then she asked me to get involved, and I'm like, no, I'm not getting involved. I'm done. I already know the arena to which we play in, so I'm out of it. I'm completely out of it. And I think what I'm working on is in the fall, like being a good parent, good or bad. It depends on what day of the week you catch me. I think most of the time I'm healthy. I'm healthy with her. I'm healthy with boundaries around her. And she's had developed boundaries with her from very young as an infant, with that, that no cry, that, what was that? I forget what it was called. The 3 days of hell. I'll call it 3 days of hell, where you allow your children to self-soothe, and you kiss them and you put them in bed, and then you put them in the bed, and then they're in the bed and they got to deal with themselves. And then they cry for 15 to 20 minutes, and you come back in and you say, I love you very much. Daddy loves you. I'm here. Denise was alive, so she would go in and we would both come out, and it was like, I hate everything about you, adult person. It was so much tension, and it wasn't 3 days. You had to do it for 3 days, and you had to do it in the nighttime. And I guess it took maybe an hour every time. And the first day was like an hour and a half. The second day was like an hour. The third day is like 42 minutes. And then the last day is just like, lo and behold, it's over. Now, this is not a political statement about the book. I forget what it's, No Tears. It's called, I forget what it's called. And it's the 3 days of self-soothing. There's lots of uproar about it. There's been uproar in the parenting world. Dr. Kat says this and that. I don't know. How could you raise your black kid with that book written by these white people? And that's what, listen, I don't know nothing about that. I know me picking this girl up all night is not going to work. And she needs to learn how to soothe herself. And that's very important. And that's something that has continued in the world of her soothing herself and her being able to be in pain, right? Her being able to express her tears, express her pain, frustrations, me to be here, not as a whipping board, and not as a journal either, but enough to allow her the space to be everything every emotion that she's going through, to give her that space, to allow her to have those feelings, those thoughts. And sometimes I have to say, I get that you're crying, I get you're hurt, but can you be hurt and cry in your room? Because the space is too small. Yeah, and that might be hurtful. That might be the dad, because I'm the dad, right? In the world, I wear a couple of hats. I'm the dad. I'm never the mom, but I'm definitely okay, let me put a Band-Aid on you. Let me make sure it's cleaned up. Let me clean up. You want something to eat? Let me make you something to eat. And then I'm also like Sybil. It's like, what? What'd you just say? Give me that iPod. Give me this. You know what I'm saying? So in any given time, her world is a little maybe confusing. You know, but my intention is to always give her the space to be every bit of a child, a woman, a young woman, a girl, growing into a woman who has healthy boundaries, who has the space to make mistakes and make mistakes without me getting involved too much. This was the first time that I got involved, and it was very quickly I realized why I don't get involved. Very, very quickly, because I made it about me, right? The instant it was like, so you knew about this? Then I made it, oh, so it's okay for that to happen on your side, and you wouldn't think to reach out to me. So who am I to reach out? It started all of that. And once I got that thinking that it was like displayed, I said, oh, it has nothing to do with you. Stay out of it. Let them figure it out or not. They'll figure it out or they won't. And it has nothing to do with me. She fully knows and she's clear on her behavior, her thoughts, her feelings around what happened. It hasn't resolved, or perhaps it is resolved, and what is the what is. Either way, you know, I don't know. I have two best friends. I have one best friend. Now I had two. I lost one. I lost one in the transition because of my mouth. I mean, I lost one because of everything that I do, because I speak certain things that to me need to be spoken. And it's like, wait, what? And it's not always well received. And to own up to it, it's not always well presented. I don't always present it well. You know, sometimes I'm right off the cuff with something and I'll say, wait, that doesn't work. I'll call somebody out about something and I won't be delicate about it. And then I expect to smack you up and then have you love it. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. So I lost a really good friend, and over something that at the end of the day didn't have anything to do with me, except it had everything to do with me. And it just was like, fine. It's like one of those things, like I sleep well, I'm sure he sleeps well. And we go on together. I wasn't born with him, but I'm talking about 20-year friendship over something, and then it's so needed to happen. It was way overdue. And at times it has been hurtful. Like, oh, I can't believe I lost my boy over this. And then I have to pick my daughter up early because they called me to say that school was letting out early. So, you know what I mean? So then life goes on. And sure, there's diapers that need to be changed over there or whatever, braces, shoelaces, and all the things. So we continue. But I was really excited about her being in the space of saying, I'm sad about this. I'm sad about losing this. And I get what I've done. And I thought, and my thinking around that was, if that's what it takes for us to lose this, what I thought we had, then I could question what we really had. Because that would not have happened. I would not have stopped being a friend on that because of that. And the only thing I could do was acknowledge what she said, be with her, and be okay with the fact that she is in a transition in her journey, because that is what I raised. That is what I want. I mean, I don't want somebody just going around hurting people's feelings. That's not what's up. But I do want a person, like we live in the same house. That's a person. I want a person to think about their actions. I want a person to be able to get it when perhaps they were wrong, or what they thought was something good wasn't good. It wasn't. And I'm really good at bringing that to people's attention in the space of my controlling of what's not going to happen to me. I'm really good. And I can't be with a partner who can't hear that, because I can hear it. I'm always ears like, what is it that we need to say? I got you. I apologize. I didn't get that when I said that to you. That was the reaction. I really apologize. That was not my intention. Or, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted you to feel. I'm glad you felt insecure about that. That was my intention, to be in control of that narrative. But it's always to the first, right? Like I didn't mean to do that. That wasn't what I wanted to have happen. And I'm sorry that happened. I could clean that up in a heartbeat, like with all sincerity. And also I need someone to be able to look at themselves and hear that. Like if a person can't hear it, then we can't rock. She has the ability to hear it at 10. And I'm going to close with this because I've shared this, and this is the most important thing for me as a parent. The most important thing after all this is said and done is, if I don't care what she becomes, right, in the world. And I do, but I'm like, whatever it is. If she's an adult female, or whatever that journey goes to, whatever, right? If she's an adult, let's just keep it as adult, because you never know what happens from now until 20. Who can't speak in the world of, you made me feel, and it be an actual feeling and not a thought, right? Now, you make me feel like you don't care about me. It's not at all. I don't want to hear any of that. If I haven't raised her to have the ability to speak in the way of, that hurt my feelings, that made me sad, that made me angry, that made me envious, that made me jealous, I was jealous, and speaking, that's a feeling. And I think I failed. I have failed myself. And I was going to say, first thing I failed men. I don't know what her journey is, right? But I failed to raise yet another woman who goes out and speaks in that terminology where I just don't listen. That kills the listening, because it's not the truth. It's not the truth. And I need to be able to raise her that she can be heard. And it's not the truth. Like it's not occurring in a person. It's real. But if you want to be not listened to, speak like that. Speak like that. Speak like that to me. I feel like you don't love me. Now, I can hear there's something that has you feeling unloved that I've done, but I can't. How can you feel like I don't love you? That's not even a feeling. That's a thought. Now, maybe there's some actions that I could change to help that situation, but I need you to tell me what you're feeling and the thought. Or I think you don't love me. That's a beginning of a conversation, right? I think you don't love me. You act like you don't love me. But you can't tell me you feel like I don't love you, because that's not a feeling. And I don't want to get into the argument about you can't argue my feelings, because I can if you're not presenting a feeling. But anyway, I have my daughter who's and maybe that's just important in this house, because I believe it's important to be heard. If you're going to say something, say it to be heard, right? Not just to say it for the sake of saying it. Say it so that you can be heard. And I think that that's a fantastic way to do things. I'm gonna close out right now. I'm closing. I didn't even check to see if this camera was in focus this whole time. Now I'm checking. It might be in focus. It's definitely in focus now. I don't know. I don't know what was happening 30 minutes ago. But anyway, anyway, I want to thank you all for hanging out with me today. Listen, love your daughters. Yo, there's something special going on with these little ones right now. They're smarter. My daughter's smarter than I was at 10. She is, and I take a little bit of credit there because I'm a good dad. I'm a healthy dad, and I'm giving her healthy boundaries. And boundaries are important. Boundaries are important, and they're important. And I need for her to know that she's supported and loved, and she's not always right. Right? See, my mother raised me like I'm right when I'm right, and I'm right when I'm wrong. There's something that's gangster. That's gangster. But anyway, love your daughters. I love mine. Take good care of yourselves. It's Friday. Do something nice for yourself. Like, do something nice for yourself. I don't know what that could be, but do it. All right. I'll talk to you later.